Welcome back to Sun Tools Training. In this final lesson, we'll take a look at the OLE 2 SF programming. So as before, you want to make sure that you've downloaded Sun Tools, have it running, etc. Double-click the Sun Tools icon on your desktop and either start a new project or open an existing one. You can see here I've loaded my previous project. And to get started with the OLE programming, we're going to click the OLE tab. Like before, we have these main menu options here on the left: motif, sources, film buttons, OLE buttons, and then down here in special we have transfer. On the top, you'll notice we have main and zone 2. This allows me to, as you know, the TG401s have two ports on the back, and both of those may be used for main zone or zone 2 or one of each. And this allows me to configure the unit as main or zone 2. You notice that when I click zone 2, the skin changes to this orange peachish color, as well as on the left side as well, to alert you that, hey, you're now adjusting zone 2 settings. So first off, if we go to motif, right now Sunfire supports one motif, as you see here. This is the one that comes with the OLE 2 SF, but to be consistent, we left it as is in case we decided to do future designs at a later date. But this skin is designed to match the front panel cosmetic of the 401 series products. Moving to sources, you see that I have these generic names here, source 1 through source 13. I can enable or disable that source from being an option in the list. You can see here there's an option for link to TGX 401 input, enable feedback. This allows me to assign this guy to match up with HD, for example. This can be linked up with SAT, and I would simply go through and remap all these inputs. This marries my my TGR inputs to the OLE. By clicking on these little arrows here, it copies the name from the TG401 over to the OLE. So you can see how these copy over one at a time. Or once I'm done, I could go here and do all, and this copies everything over that I've assigned, which is very handy. One special item to note here, you see MP3 has a checkbox on it. What this does is allows the Viamigo metadata feedback to come onto the OLE panel. The MP3 source is assigned to analog input 4 by default, and must be on analog input 4 on the TGR 401 for this option to be available. To rearrange the order of these buttons, maybe I want to group my most frequently used sources together, or all my audio together and all the video. I could rearrange. You see I get this extra window here, and then just click up and down to move these around in the list. I can assign independent icons for each of these. So I can click change, and let's say that I want my Blu-ray choice to be this guy. You can see that icon updates. Now I also have this get and save as options so that I can save this particular device as a template. So once I do all of my HD, BD settings and IR, etc. for this particular device, I could save this out as a template and call this my Sony BD template, for example. And then later on, if I want to recall that template, I would just click on Get Template, and that would import it into my project. So the next thing we'll look at is the film buttons. So this allows me to define what actions each of the fixed buttons on the film will do. So I have, for example, the source buttons. These will be auto-programmed for me at the end. Volume, I would probably like the volume when I'm on HDBD to control the main zone volume in this case, so I could assign that. Again, a lot of these will be auto-built at the end, so most of the film buttons here I shouldn't need to mess with, because those will be built at the end of the project. I have different actions for press and then press and hold. So if you wanted to do a secondary action on a hold, you could do that. And you would just simply click through all of these and assign any specific IR control to those. To program OLE buttons themselves, I first need to add a page And then let's say I want to do a blank 3x3 page, which would look like this. I would click Add, and now I can click on these to add commands to that button. Now if I want to edit these buttons, I would click on the Hobbs editor. So within Hobbs editor, I can define what this icon will look like on this particular button. So let's say I want this to be a play icon. Then I would just choose this. I would choose this right-hand triangle here. So now we have a button that has the play icon, and now I want to assign an actual action to that button. So I would do add IR command, and now I'd simply choose my player. So let's go down to Sony, and I'm not sure if we even have one in here. Let's just say it follows a regular DVD structure. I would choose the play command, and we would do add. So you can see that now when I press that button, it'll issue a play command on the DVD player. And the P icon here means that we've got something assigned to it. So I know that all these buttons here are empty. They not only do they not have an icon, but they also don't have any underlying programming because I don't see this P showing. I can move commands up and down in the list by selecting move up and down. I can copy and paste commands as you see here, and also delete them. Delays are handy if you're doing macros. So if I want to, if I did have some kind of system macro and I wanted to wait for the TV to power up before issuing the video command, I can choose a predefined delay here. Let's say it's 5 seconds, and add that into my macro. And then again, like I said, if I want to move that up in the sequence or down, you can do that right here. Okay, so you would just repeat this process for each of your source pages. Again, you can have multiple pages for a source. So let's say I put my transport controls on this page. Maybe I add another page that's going to be for if I've got a cable box, for example, I might want TV icons. So I would do another 3x3. Now I've got, I could rename these as well. So let's call this faves. And this guy, instead of direct, maybe it is transport. So now on my faves page, I could go into Hobbs, add in the icons for the various channels that I'm interested in, and then apply the macro. So channel 305, for example, to go to CBS. All right, so that is how you go through the Olay buttons. Now we've done this starting with a project from scratch. So let's go back to templates, and let's do get a template for selected Olay 2 SF. What selected means is that I'm on the main zone right now. So whatever template I import will go into the main zone. If I wanted the template to go into zone 2, then I would click on zone 2, then import. But in this case, we're going to get it for the main zone. You'll notice it's going to tell me that my old configuration will be lost. And if I bring in the main Olay template, a lot of this work is taken care of for me, because now what I've got is the factory default Olay template for what you would receive from us. So if you buy an Olay 2 SF from us, it has this program already loaded in. So you see that all of these sources are pre-populated. I've got nice icons for everything. The feedback is turned on for the various sources. My film buttons are pre-programmed with IR for volume up, down for the various sources. If I go to the Olay buttons and select these, you see that I do have transport. I have extras for Blu-ray. On SAT, I have a keypad. So it's very handy to start with the template that we provide, because then it makes it very easy to do the editing. So I wanted to show you the tough way to do it first. That way you didn't do it like that ever again. So the rule of thumb for Olays is start with the template that we provide and then tweak it to your needs from there. Because as you can see, all I did was just do an import, and now I could change my my codes on these buttons here to match up to my Sony player, and I'd be done.